Hi guys, good morning to you. Welcome in. So glad you're here and can be here for the morning messages this morning. I never know where it's gonna go. So let's just see. Going to do, so we have Mars and Venus coming into conjunct here shortly, which is exciting. That is, the Mars is the divine masculine, Venus is the divine feminine. They're coming into alignment in the sign of Capricorn, which is all about stability. Capricorn isn't the most romantic signs of the signs, but it's very stable, right? It's very grounded. It's on a mission. And so that's exciting and interesting. I love North and South Node. Your North Node is all about what you have come into this lifetime to learn and to grow from. Your South Node placement is all about what you have learned in your past lives that you come in already knowing and that you're really good at. I'm a little concerned, to be honest, because Mars is the divine masculine and Aries, Mars rules Aries, right? Libra is ruled by Venus. My South Node is in Aries. My North Node is in Libra. And so it is essentially the divine masculine and the divine feminine. My South Node and my North Node coming into alignment, into conjunction. I don't know what that's going to mean for me. And so with my South Node being in Aries, I have lived multiple lifetimes and I come into this lifetime very good sitting in that Aries energy, which is very fiery, very passionate. It's the divine masculine. It's it can be a little, it's like high sexual energy. It's bold, it's confident, it is kind of the warrior of the zodiac, kind of immature, impulsive, kind of the fighter, independent, don't give two fucks. And so, doing a lot of past life regression, yeah, I've been definitely a man in a lot of my past lives, and a warrior and a hunter, and so that's just natural for me, right? I'm just good at that. That's something I don't have to work on in this lifetime. I need to actually back off on that a little bit. Lots of self-realization there. But it's all about personal growth, right? That's what we're here to do, is it's all about the journey. And then so my North Node sits in Libra, and Libra is the divine feminine because Libra is ruled by Venus. And so my North Node being in Libra, it's all about what I've come into this lifetime to learn. And that is about balance and love and relationships, and it's all about the we, whereas Aries is all about the me. And so, and I don't really know what that means for me, because how can I balance out the we when there is no there's no we in my life right now, really? That's not true. Who am I kidding? It's complicated. Committed to the uncommitted. I was just talking about that last night. I posted I recorded myself because I had this aha, epiphany moment, which I'll probably post at a later date, about the full moon. And anyway, I'm not going to get into that, but I just found it so interesting. So Mars and Venus coming conjunct, like in the signs of my North and South node. That's crazy. Okay, so let's do the Earth Oracle deck and see what it says. Speaking of not really being in the we, so I'm excited. I'm working with a client on abandonment and resentment this evening, and releasing and doing like a complete aura cleanse and balancing out the chakras and doing a lot of like healing that inner child and that abandonment. And oh my God, I'm like, that's so interesting, because I have a lot of that to process and work through myself. Like my whole life, I feel like it's been abandonment. Like that is my biggest issue. Like everybody has some like main things, right? That they like hold really deep inside. Like what is their like past childhood, even past karma, past lifetime healing that they like hold within them. And mine's definitely abandonment. I've had lots of past lives where I've been abandoned. And it's happened a lot in this lifetime. So I have a lot of healing to do from that. I'm like, that's so interesting that you called for a healing and a clearing, because I'm like going through it as well. And it's just like, you have to like constant, it's just like, you just have to work on it. So you might have somebody in your life, or you had somebody in your life that you felt abandoned by, whether it be your parents, a lover, a friend. And I want you to remember that like in past lives, these past life soul contracts that you have in this lifetime, like even your parents aren't necessarily your parents in your past life. Like they could be anybody. I have my best girlfriend, one of my soul sisters, who's like half my age. She was a mother of mine in a past life. We were soul contracted to come into this life and meet again. And it's so funny. It just makes complete sense. Like, even though she's like half my age, has that like very motherly like feel towards me. She's very caring and checks up on me and looks after me, and just like she's and she was a mother of mine in a past life. So it's what I'm saying is like my twin flame, like I always get abandoned by which is fine, whatever. Like I'm not ever really alone, I've come to realize, but still it sucks, right? And so it's like you're in separation and you feel like, oh, I've been abandoned. And it's like, it's so interesting because I have a really, really old soul. He does too, but not as old as mine. Like I'm like not of this planet. Like my soul is that old. I've like had some past life regression of like literally not being a part of this planet, and I still feel that way like to this day. But anyway, feeling abandoned by a loved one, a lover, whatever, you have had a past life with them where they have abandoned you. In my instance, like my twin flame journey, like I've witnessed multiple past lives with him where we abandon each other. And it's not even in like almost like there's been past lives that we've had together that were siblings, and our parents have died, and we have gone to the orphanage, and we get separated, like we get taken to two different families, and so we feel abandoned by each other in that way. There's another one where like I was the man, like I was the warrior, and I went off to war and died in battle, and then he felt abandoned. Like what was another one? another one, he's the sailor, and I work at the docks, and he's in another relationship with some, I don't know, chick on the shore, like inland. And when he would sail to me, and he would sail to my port and drop off his fish or whatever, we had this whole love affair, but I always felt abandoned by him because he would always have to leave and sail away. And so if we can't, like, if it, like, I always like, if I like live and accept that it's not going to be in this lifetime, and if it's like, if we're going to have to try again in another lifetime, like it's not meant to be in this lifetime, then I wonder if, like, wherever my soul goes, whatever body it drops into in a future life, like if they're going to like have a past life regression of us in this lifetime. Is that trippy? That's trippy. All right, let's see where this goes. But anyway, what I'm saying is, like, you've had multiple past lives of people where they have abandoned you, and you feel that abandonment, and everybody feels it, but you have like sacred contracts with those people in a past life, and it's like, you know, motherfucker goes hunting and gets killed by a bear, and then like nobody knows what happened to him, and then his, you know, the wife at home just feels like abandoned. That's abandoned. Or you go to war and they die, and it's just like, people died of shit all the time back then, and it's just like, can you imagine all that built up abandonment that you have from your previous lives? And then it gets reincarnated into this lifetime, and you just have to heal from it. Whoa. Wasn't I just talking about childhood wounding? So we got childhood. We got innocence. Let's see. Let's read that. Guys, everybody has so much shit from childhood that they just like try and forget about, or they just don't even recognize, and it's just so like built up. Like it can cause anger, resentment, it can cause disease, it can cause physical body pain. A lot of it's abandonment, resent, like you feel neglected, you feel rejected. Like I have deep abandonment issues from my mother, from my father, from my ex-husband, from my twin flame, it's abandonment. It's huge for me. It's like one of my main like things, like inner childhood wounding. Past childhood wounding, past life wounding, karmic healing. Talk about it all the time. You've got to keep working on it. Okay? So let's read what it says. Childhood innocence. I'm so excited to do this session with this particular individual. And he was like, so basically what has happened is, like, I'm just so, like, he just, it's even an ancestral, like, bloodline thing for him. He was just giving me a little background about it, and I was just, like, his father's father died, and they didn't speak, and now he's not speaking to him, his own father, and I was just like, okay, well, we just, you know, just gotta release it. Okay. Okay. Innocence is not simply the lack of guilt or shame, but a quality in itself, one that you naturally possess when you first come into this existence. There are challenges you have faced throughout life that have further shaped your personality and character. You have also likely encountered moments following a disappointment or loss when you turn sour or cynical. And no doubt have had times when layers of anger or fear blocked the flow of your vitality, your life force. Yet, in spite of all this, there is a core of innocence that you can reawaken by releasing any shame that has covered over the truth of who you are. Take any opportunity to heal this shame and let go so you can revisit that state of purity. Doing so helps you see every moment with fresh eyes and removes the filters that inhibit your light and love from coming forth. You truly are a child of God, so allow yourself to be that. So, like, what? If you feel drawn or keen, or just be like, you know, have some like past regression in this lifetime and some past life regression on some of the issues that nobody really wants to talk about, nobody really wants to look at themselves, nobody wants to fucking shine that light up, like that mirror in front of their face, be like, why do I act sometimes the way that I act? Why do I feel this sometimes the way I feel? Like, a lot of it is inner childhood wounds and past life wounds. So what I recommend is you can do a past life regression meditation and kind of explore on some of the stuff that has, like, explore a past life and what may have had happened to you in that past life, whether it's neglect, abandonment, what is it? What's the word I'm looking for? Rejection. You know, and also not only in a past life, but obviously in this lifetime too, like go back into when you were a kid and a young adult. And it's so interesting how I pulled this childhood card, because this morning I went into meditation and all my selves, starting from a young child, I don't know, I think I probably showed up as my 5 or 6 self first, came like walking towards me. And I'm in meditation. I enter this like past life, like healing space of these like wounds or whatever. And I like enter this temple space, and I realize I'm in Atlantis, which I just keep going to. I think I've spent a lot of past lives in Atlantis. Like, what? And Atlantis, if you can imagine, was like, it was around before the fall, was like over 1,000 years. So I probably lived a couple different lives there, I can imagine, because I keep being brought back there. Anyway, so I was like in myself as I am right now, 35, like. And I enter into Atlantis. I enter into this like temple space, and it's like, if you can imagine Atlantis, it's like, it looks, you can imagine it. But there's like these big white pillars around this temple space, this circular temple space, and like myself, I'm just like standing there in the light, like wondering what the fuck I'm doing here. And so I look out in front of me, and it's like myself at like 5 years old comes walking in and like stands ahead of me, like stands before me, and like gives me this big smile, and then like runs at me, and I just like hug my like 5-year-old self, and I like look into her face and like kiss her forehead, and then she like backs off, and then and just stands in front of me. And then like entering on kind of the other, like to my right, cue in the right is my like, I would say like adolescent self, like 12, 13-year-old self. And she comes in and she stands in front of me, and you know, we have our thing. And then it's my teenage self, stage left. And like my young, like 20s self, I would say, like early teens, or I'm sorry, late teens, early 20s, enter stage left. And so I have like my 20-year-old self, my, like, I would say 6, 7-year-old self, my young adolescent self, 10, 11, 12, I don't know, something like that. So like that, like myself and that, in those age brackets, all in front of me. And then that past life self that keeps coming to me, where I was that healer, that like high priestess of Atlantis, like all like in her white garb and like golden leaf crown, and like I have this like scepter of like gold with this like aquamarine orb on the top, like some sort of healer. And I worked with like crystals and colors, and that self comes in this just like this beam of light, like, oh, like, and like stands in the middle. So it's just like, it's like me, my 20-year-old self, my childhood self, my young adolescent self. And then it's just like, and then that past life of me as the healer, high priestess, is in the middle. And she takes the hand of my childhood self and like leads her over to this like table where like I've had multiple past life regressions, where like I've seen myself like be of that person, like of that high priestess healer person, like, but not to like my childhood self, like just randoms, right? Random, the people of Atlantis, right? And I found it so interesting how it's like my past life self did a healing with crystals. Like I set crystals all around my childhood self, like different ones. A lot of them were pink. Like this pink aura kind of came over my childhood self, which I can only think of as like the heart chakra and like just a heart healing and just a comforting. So this like pink aura came over my childhood self, and my like high priestess self is like performing this healing with these like, it was like pink and white and light green and aquamarine bluish like crystals like all around my childhood self, and like did this crazy healing. So anyway, those are the messages for today. I know, kind of weird, kind of random, right? But we all have childhood shit that you can look at yourself in the mirror and recognize and heal from. Okay? All right. That's the message for today. And have a great Wednesday. Talk to you soon.